Are we live?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry, I was waiting on you.
Waiting on you.
Oh, welcome back. It's been a couple of days, but we appreciate you joining the Odd Shop. You being a part. You are now immersed, fully involved with the Odd Shop. Eric Lindquist, I'm Eytan Shander. Mike is producing, and you're here. You're part of the community. You're not? Well, hit the thumbs up button and subscribe. We'll remind you throughout. We're going to hit the tool. We're going to hit NHA. We're going to hit PrizePicks. I have a ladder. Eric Lindquist has the same game parlay. We have a lot of shit to get to, my friend.
Yeah, we do. It's going to be a fun day. 6 games in the association. Yesterday was an absolute print fest in the premium Discord. Hoping to run it back. That's back-to-back Sundays that have been smashes. All of last week was basically one long smash. Must have been because we introduced this show. Put in a little extra work for the people. Glad that it paid off.
Yeah, absolutely, my friend. So we're going to do that and then some tonight, right? Let's keep it moving.
First of all, hold up.
Yes.
What the hell is going on Twitter with this TV thing? What is this show that you want canceled after one season?
True Detective. Do you have an argument against that?
No.
There's new True Detective coming out. I saw that. There's a season 4 coming out.
Okay.
Now, in true Detective form, it's all about the means, never the end on that god-awful show outside the first season, much.
Well, first season was good. Season 3 wasn't that bad. It kept jumping back and forth. And it was basically just carried purely by acting and nothing else was like the story was terrible.
And if it's like you threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter and then you throw a touchdown to pull yourself somewhat out of a hole, like you were dealing with such a wreck of television in season 2. But in this process of figuring out what else people would like canceled, and it has to be on for at least 4 seasons, and it's something that should have been done in 1. We have uncovered in our own detective work something with one of our own that I think I can speak for you was pretty shocking to see. Our own Isaiah, who was all over the place. The OddsShopper YouTube channel, our premium Discord, the written site. He works more than you and me combined, this guy.
Yeah, this take is such trash, though, that I don't think we can give it a second on this show. The Office getting canceled after 1 season would be like canceling the Mona Lisa after the first brush stroke. Like, what are we doing here? Like, let Da Vinci, let him cook.
Let him live.
My God, Michael Scott. If you canceled Michael Scott after 1 season, I don't think, comedy's already kind of dead on TV. Let's be serious about it. Like, what? Like Night Court, I actually watched an episode of. I thought that was
no.
I'm saying
that.
There's nothing good in terms of comedies on TV anymore. Succession is a dramedy to the max, and that's the reason that it works so well is that it's still based in this dramatic element.
Yeah, I understand that there has to be a sense of realism, disappointment, drama, if you will, for any humor to work. But you don't need to step on the grave of what a great show Night Court was the first time around because of that judge. That judge is unmatched. And you know Harry is unmatched. And I'll leave it at that.
I know India did before, though. She's fantastic.
I don't know. Who's that? Is that the new judge?
She's the new lawyer. She's one of the lawyers on Night Court. She's lovely. She did a great job. Stop it.
You and I are going to disagree about a lot. I promise you.
But that's part of the fun.
Yes. But we do have to kind of pat ourselves. You and I are undefeated. All right. Lofty's not undefeated. Ben Raza's not undefeated, right? Just saying.
We're undefeated.
Okay.
The community parlay season. Let's go. And I called out the chat last time too. Friday. Y'all done screwed it up. Okay. Don't screw it up this time. Don't go against a team that I'm betting. That Lakers money line. What are you doing, people? Don't do this to me. Come on, Minnesota. Minnesota's riding high. We got Jaden McDaniels out there playing 40 minutes a game. That's what you needed.
Hey, we gave you options. All right, chat. Don't blame us and say that we pushed you into some corner. We gave you 3 other options to choose from. All right? That's it. Sway McThunder, the only thing I understood was Michael Scott. That's all you needed to understand. It was genius. Ricky Gervais the first time around. Without Michael Scott, that show doesn't exist. But we gave you options. We're going to give you more options, all right? Because now we're just rubbing it. Mike has this graphic up. Now we're just rubbing it in like, easy money for Joker, easy money for the Kraken, right? Let's do it again. We have 4 options. We want to open up this poll, but you and I each have a leg. So this is not to influence the jury or anything along those lines. I have a feeling that you might go right back to where you've been. You're a creature of habit. You eat the same lunch every single day for the last 15 years.
Kind of true.
And you bet on Nikola Jokic to score a triple-double every night.
Chicken almond salad. That's basically been my lunch for 15 years. So you kind of hit that on the head, which is disturbing. And now you know something about me. But let's also just say that it's rooted in the fact that this was plus 190.
Yeah.
Coming around over the new year. And then Jamal Murray started playing over 35 minutes a game. Then Jamal Murray got hurt. And you start Michael Porter Jr., Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Did you know every single member of the starting 5 for the Denver Nuggets this season has over a 59% true shooting percentage? That is ridiculous kind of a stuff. That's how you rack up assists. And then he's a center. So he averages 12 and a half rebounds a game. And then points are a foregone conclusion. He's only missed it twice this entire season. Why aren't we betting Nikola Jokic every single night? Oh, wait, I am.
All right, there you go. That's one leg right there. Mark Scheifele, 3+ shots on goals. I'm not going to go deep. All right. I've already built the ladder for the Discord, 3+, 4+. But in this case, I'm just going to go 3+ shots on goal. It's a nice, easy number for Scheifele. He might even get into a fight tonight. Like Scheifele could hit for the triple-double. I got Jokic on the mind. He could hit for the cycle, right? Like points. You could a goal, assist, 3 shots on goal. He could fight somebody. He could spit on somebody. Like Scheifele brings it all. So I love that. I'll go 3+ shots on goal. You couldn't pick Mark Scheifele out of a lineup. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I could. Shut up. You think I don't know pucks? I know pucks. It's just for the love of God, I have no time. Well, you tell me where I can fit NHL into my life, and I'll do that. Plus, we've got you. We got Mr. Hockey on this program. I need not apply.
Well, let's see. Mr. Hockey was a little up and down, as they say. All right, here are the options for you on the community parlay. These are money lines.
Pelicans.
All right, so this is a big one here. We may have to, well, it's too late to go spreads, but that's fine. Pacers plus 230, Pistons plus 180, Raptors plus 195, Pelicans plus 190.
Pelicans.
This is tough. Yeah, let's redo it with spreads.
Yeah, give them an easier one. Plus
Mike's
just
good
have
like
it be
that.
Pelicans.
Yeah,
Pelicans.
and that's my fault because I should have explained that better on the pre-show. So I'll take the hit on that by all means.
Zach Morris, I don't like any of them. I like the Pelicans plus 190. I bet them at plus 200.
Yeah, but that's fine. We don't want to push people into a corner. Right. By all
exactly.
All right.
Well, also expected win percentage around 40%. That's why I liked it so much. It's still going to lose 60% of the time, and I'm just fine with that.
All right. So we've got that coming. Now, we also have a couple of pieces of information. Mike's going to redo the poll as fast and as easy as that was. We have some news that you need to know, and we'll get into some top plays on the OddsShopper board and see what the tool is telling us about the market-based approach, which we'll explain a little bit. But we have a couple of things to let you know right now. Hey, first, it's not on here, but shout out to Harambe on here, Harambe Slayer, to be exact on here. Noted great member of our Discord, because I know he's active with you and me as well. Mm-hmm. wow, they rescinded Giannis triple-double last night. A rebound. This was breaking news a couple of minutes before we came on. A rebound was taken away from Giannis. Therefore, his triple-double was rescinded. So if you had that in a bet, if you had that on any way that you were profiting off that rebound / triple-double, taken away because there was no intent to shoot. He was punished for stat padding.
Whatever. That is the most Philadelphia 76ers ridiculous homer take I've ever heard in my life. Bashing a better basketball player on a better team.
Hold on. Wait. Hold on a second.
He was stat padding. I'm totally with you.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's what he was punished for. Like, I'm calling it out for what it is. Let me rephrase, or let me add to this. I have no fucking problem whatsoever with him doing that. And I love the fact, look, remember who was it? Ricky Davis, who sat under the rim, missed, and then got the board and then missed again to try to do that all you want. Let this
but do it in the second quarter, right?
Yeah, so we can go ahead and not sweat the bet. Let somebody put their hands around your neck to physically stop you from stat padding. That's the way that you come down on this shit. So yeah, I'm upset because a lot of people out there lost right now. A lot of people lost. So I'm upset, Eric, all right?
The Pelicans moved to +5.5. It's not 6 anymore. It was 6 earlier. It was 6.5 last night.
All right, well, there you have it. 5.5.
Throwing it out there.
Yeah.
Wild stuff.
Okay. There we go.
Well, also, why do you have Julius Erving and Larry Bird choking each other out in the background?
Because this is a fight. All right. I had to do the old guy this morning for one of the videos to remind people what a fight is. That Luka Doncic.
Oh, the Devin Booker.
Come on, cuz. That's not
It's a charge. It's a charge.
That's not a fight.
That wasn't. Dude, everybody in the NBA far softer than they used to be, mainly because the NBA wants them to be.
Yeah.
They basically had their balls chopped off for a reason.
All right, let's get to it, man. Are you ready for this?
Let's party. I'm ready to win money.
Are you ready? Let's see what the tool says. All right, let's jump in. We have our news. You saw it up there already. Thanks to Mike for putting out some information there just as far as it's back. I know we had to talk about the Giannis stuff, but Mitchell looks like he's trending in. Tatum, Horford out. De'Aaron Fox looks like he's trending. And then you have Tobias Harris, PJ Tucker. I know that from game standpoint, that's fine. But both of those guys, I'm fine with not talking about either one of them. All right.
I want to talk about them all day now.
I know you do. I said that. And as soon as it came out of my mouth, I was like, I just queued up Lindquist to do a
Sounds like a great
now.
discussion point. Tobias Harris, one of the most underrated players in the NBA.
Get out of here. I hate you.
I don't believe that.
You're right. I love you like I hate Tobias. How about that?
That's probably true, if we're being honest.
Just as a player, right? I don't want you. He said he hated him. No. All right, let's look at what the tool says. Now, this is what a market-based approach is, and we're going to take your plays. So let us have them. All right. Whatever you have out there, whatever you think might be a good play, whatever you thought already with your own research, your own projections, what we have from projections, what Lindquist posted on the Discord, what I posted on the Discord, all of that. Let us have it. Whatever question you have, this is a live, living, breathing organism that is constantly updating. What is a market-based approach? It's the algorithm that we have on OddsShopper Premium, the one that we charge for normally, mind you, that we're going to give you a week off for the first week and spend the next 45 plus minutes with you answering questions about plays you have for free, of course. It just finds the best play at the best book. So if a number is beating the market at 9 or 10 other books by 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 45 points, it may not be broken, which is like, oh my God, red alert, sound the alarm, let's rush to the book. But it may simply just be a plus EV good bet. And that's what the algorithm is finding. Anything baseline that's plus EV, that's giving you a plus ROI, right up to the red alert. Oh my God, smash this because there's a broken number. But bottom line is, Eric, as we've talked about this a couple of times, we're just using the tool to beat the market. Like any market, it's a living, breathing, it's a volatile thing. So it's constantly changing. And it's nice to have a tool work for you as opposed to like 15 different screens basing, running around and shit.
Yeah, the books are basically like in The Last of Us. It's the fungus. It's surrounding everything. It's constantly evolving. It's trying to have monsters come up and kill you. There's a lot of ways that the books are trying to take advantage of us. And the way that we win, the way that we get it done is we simply shop for the best odds. We find plays that are positive expected value, and we kind of discard the rest. You don't want to be adding too many plays. I think probably the biggest problem that I see constantly is just too many legs. We're talking like 9, 10, 11 leg parlays. Something can be value at minus 400. Something can also not be value at plus 400. It all comes down to being able to establish what it is around the entire marketplace, finding a book. Matisse Thybulle steals over 1.5. That's actually been on my betting card a little bit of late. Somebody in the Discord a couple weeks ago, or maybe it was last week, brought up Matisse Thybulle, and I looked into his steal rates, looked into a couple of things, and then he started popping in our tools. And it kind of all came together as this perfect cyclone where then you have value. We're talking expected value 10%, 61% expected win percentage, minus 125, over 1.5 steals, stuff like that. When you make good bets long-term, you win money. When you don't, you lose money, period, end of story.
Let's head to that. Speaking of which, we have a couple juicy ones here that jump out. And and again, you go to your state because each state is different depending on how the market is moving. It's all, again, very volatile, but very alive with that. So in PA, looking at the NBA bets and sorting by XROI, Saddiq Bey's over 1.5 threes at minus 130 at PointsBet. It's got a 60% clip, but most importantly here, this is jumping out with a 7% XROI. And just looking at it at 130, you're beating DK by 10 points. You're beating FanDuel by 12 points. It's already proven around the market in other books that may not be available in your state. It's beating that. That's a hell of a number right there, Eric.
Yeah, it's gigantic. And there's a new coaching regime. You've got Quinn Snyder coming into town to Atlanta, taking over for Nate McMillan. Talked about it a little bit last week too, but Saddiq Bey, he's the cast off from Detroit, and it just kind of made sense when I looked at the top of the board for OddsShopper that this made sense. I mean, he played 35 minutes last game, 35 against Miami. It was a blowout win against Portland. That's why I only played 24, I believe, under this new coaching staff. And now we're looking at maybe low 30s minutes routinely, and you project him out as somebody who's going to be sharing the floor with DeJounte Murray and Trae Young. Obviously, they're going to eat up a lot of the usage, but especially DeJounte Murray, Trae Young, they're good passers. They're good at distributing the basketball, at least getting the ball moving, play up in pace. Saddiq Bey, a much better situation for him here than Detroit. That should go without saying, but makes sense that over 1.5 for a pretty decent three-point shooter, that's going to project out well on the season. Only 36% from three, but I repeat, he played for Detroit, so I'm going to kind of discard it. He's been closer to around a 40% three-point shooter for his career.
See, here's the thing. All right, a couple people there asking about the New York, the old guy, Chris G, Aussie prop guy. We get to 200 likes, I'll do the entire show until it's going to drive Eric so crazy that his head is going to explode. Like,
please don't do that.
It's going to be. We're going to kill two birds with one stone. You get to see me make an ass of myself.
I'm the bird. You've killed me. Don't do it.
Right. I think we can get to 200 likes easily.
Okay. Well, let's do it.
Just to see that. And we're still early in the show. So now here's what happened. Before we got to this, before Mike shared this screen, about 30 seconds or so, I in our show Slack put in, we're going to go here because I wanted to lead with Saddiq Bey. Because for me, Saddiq Bey had a 7% XROI at the top of the screen as I was looking at it. Eric was going on and on and on and on and on, and then he finished up. And by the time we went to the page, I'm just using that for effect. That's all. By the time we went to the page, man, it had already dropped. PointsBet already caught up to the laps, 10 points over. So I was looking at it 30 seconds prior at minus 130. And then when we went to the page, it already moved. So you have to stay on this is the point. It moves a lot.
Did you just make fun of me for rambling? You made fun of me for you didn't make fun of yourself for rambling? Unbelievable. What a world.
How do you pick that up, but not the Crocodile Dundee reference? I don't understand.
I wasn't listening, to be honest.
But you did hear that.
I did.
Like if you're not tagged, you don't respond.
No, it's not quite the Adam Scherer approach, but it's something close. It's akin to it. For me, I am kind of in my own little world. I'm constantly, again, it's a market. It's constantly changing, constantly evolving. there's certain pieces of news that I'm trying to jump in on. I'm paying attention to the Denver news. We have Michael Porter Jr., who's questionable,
Right.
looking at De'Aaron Fox, who's questionable. A lot of evening games with some news, and you kind of want to have a quick trigger approach and know exactly where you're going to go in those kind of scenarios. So I'm trying to plan ahead, Eytan, so that people can make money, as opposed to, like, I don't know, hear my incoherent rambling, as you would call it.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're doing a live show, so I imagine that at least half of your brain would be here, right? No? Is that too much to ask?
You're just so mean. It's unbelievable.
I think
what am I supposed to do?
I think it's the background. It's fueling my anger right now, you know?
You're like, you're going into the bar. It's Elton John. It's Saturday night's all right for fighting. Let's go.
Again, you bring up these old man references, but you don't give me anything on Crocodile Dundee.
I don't.
Shame on you. Shame on you. Seriously.
Also wrapped a snake's in on its prey. I don't know. What do you want me to do? That's all I got for you.
Yeah, Colin Berger. I once talked to myself for 45 minutes and I wasn't even on the air. It's absolutely true. I thought I was on the air doing a show for 45 minutes until I found out I wasn't. It was the worst/best experience of my life. Matisse Thybulle over points and assists. All right, we're going to get to that in a second here. That's from Will Wolf, some others here, but let me go back to the tool for just a minute. All right, because there are some interesting ones here. Bogdan is up there at the top with a 5% XROI, and people may look at this and say, all right, 54% X win, which is nice. We like that. We like that range for an XROI under 11.5 points. You're only laying 105. Now we get into an interesting one here, the Trendon Watford one. It's got the same ROI, but the win percentage is 46%. So right away, you'll see the difference outside of the hold, which is somewhat key if you're following along there. But outside of that, you'll see the OS bet percentage is a little lower. So you just know that you're betting both of these the same amount long term. You're going to make more money with the Trendon Watford one, but you're going to lose more often. So you know that going into it. But the Watford one at plus 130 is still a good plus EV bet at 5% XORI.
Yeah, I kind of talked about it yesterday on the DFS show over on the Stochastic YouTube channel, but Drew Eubanks, he hadn't really been closing a lot of games. They have gone to these Trendon Watford lineups. That didn't happen yesterday. Now, It's a back-to-back. There's a lot of uncertainty, and I love back-to-backs. I think one of the major things I do is I always react to news, and I kind of use my idea of a basketball discipline to kind of throw it in there. If we're going to have Trendon Watford not closing basketball games here, and Drew Eubanks is going to be somebody they do rely on, they're not going to try to go small. And with Detroit, you've got Marvin Bagley there on the interior. It would be nice to see James Wiseman in there as well, who is questionable. So that's another piece of news to pay attention to. But those are two bigger dudes that I don't think Trendon Watford, who's much smaller in terms of a center than what Drew Eubanks is, the former backup in San Antonio. So 2.5 assists. He's not really a known distributor either. For me, it's more of like a minutes play. What does Watford's minute allotment look like? He came off of playing 30 minutes and closing against the Pelicans to playing 23 and 22 the last couple. He had been around the teens minutes. Now, do they try to kind of limit the center position where they kind of do a split 24-24 because it's a back-to-back? I think that totally makes sense to me, but I still think Drew Eubanks is looking at the lion's share maybe going forward, especially in these type of matchups where there's not a small five that could be on the floor. I still think of Bagley just because he's so defunct from the outside that he's still going to be somebody that I think of as like an interior that you could play with Drew Eubanks. So Trendon Watford, 2.5 assists. That is a gigantic number for him to reach.
We have Matisse Thybulle in the chat over PA. We don't have the PA specific, but looking at Thybulle's page, the PRA is definitely a no play. We have that at a minus 10% to go over 14.5. And look, 51%, but your minus 10% should be a red alert to stay as far away as possible. Set up a perimeter and stay away from 10%. And the under is 3%. So the under is a bad bet. Like if you didn't have the 10% in front of you and just saw minus 3% to go under 14.5, that's a bad bet. Just because 10% is worse doesn't mean you take the bad bet. This is a stay away. The tool does tell us, though, Ian, this is why we love taking questions, because somebody may have an idea about going one way and then we'll say, look, this is what the market is dictating. The market right now will tell you that under 8.5 points is a good plus EV bet, and under 4.5 rebounds is a plus EV bet. You're not gaining a ton of ROI on these plays but there's still plus EV.
Yes. And the blocks and steals one, I believe it's because there are other books where that number might not be available. So when we're looking at those for Matisse Thybulle, that's something you have to use kind of your own analytics, your own kind of looking glass for. But in terms of the tools, I mean, Matisse Thybulle, yeah, the under 4.5 rebounds, under 8.5 points would definitely be my preferred stance on it at even money. Purely because if you look over the course of his Philadelphia Sixers career, and then even in the earlier portion here now, he's playing mid-30s minutes with Portland, he is first percentile in the NBA in usage. Let me repeat that. First percentile. He is the very, very bottom of the totem pole in terms of guys who shoot the basketball. 9.6% usage over the course of all circumstances this season, and a majority of that being with Portland because he's actually played minutes there. We're talking, though, in 2022, second percentile, 9.5% usage that season, 9.1% usage the year before. He has not exceeded 10% usage, which is an extremely low number in terms of NBA usage. He hasn't exceeded it once in his career in the last 3 years. So, yeah, I like under 8.5 points, even if he's playing this kind of minutes.
All right, let's look at these promos, man, because we can kind of breeze through these. One of them is speaking right to us right now, specifically about this fantastic, you don't know about the TPC, then you're missing out, but fantastic weekend of golf that we have in front of us. We have a couple here to look at, all right? Okay. And we can start in the NBA and reward. By the way, I see a couple more. We're going to get to you throughout. Ingram, Jokic, don't worry. This is not just a one and done. This is throughout the show. We'll talk about questions and throw them at the tool, see what they have for you. But we do want to mention that we have a couple of promos here for you. We have links below as well. And I know even a new state in Massachusetts is here. So we'll get to that in a second. But DraftKings, let's bang through this. The first two here, 3-leg same game parlay up to $10 and you get it back. All right. We have to identify the game. You identify the game and I'll get to the tool and see what the tool says. Which game? Go to
New Orleans, Sacramento.
What is it about you in New Orleans?
Buddy, I think they're the most undervalued side now. Now, yesterday, I was able to get Cleveland minus 125 before that first overtime on the money line. I was able to hit it again at 2.5. It was at 1.5 at open. And I took the money line at first and then should have taken that 1.5 immediately after I was working on the video, getting everything done on Lindy's leans, likes, and locks. And then all of a sudden it went to double overtime and that line shot to minus 165 and then shot again because Tatum and Al Horford are out. Right. So that was the best piece of value you could have gotten from yesterday into today. Glad we were able to highlight that on the video. But as it stands right now, I think De'Aaron Fox, he did go through shoot around this morning. It's the biggest piece of pending news, I think, on this slate, even more than Michael Porter Jr. In terms of the betting, because De'Aaron Fox does a lot for this basketball team. And you take an offensive player as talented as him, and you put in a nothing like Davion Mitchell starting there. You do have Malik Monk, Terrence Davis coming off the bench, can provide some spark. But in the event that De'Aaron Fox, I think he's more likely to play at this point. But even still, if he's hindered at all, the minutes aren't ramped up there completely. We've already seen this line come from plus 200 down to plus 190. And I think the underutilized thing when it comes to being able to use the tools for context and help you build better single game parlays is if the Pelicans do win this game, it's so easy to build out the scenarios that they have to take to get there. Like Brandon Ingram has to go for 30. Like I don't see a lot of iterations of this game.
We were wrong about that on Friday, by the way.
What?
With the thing with Ingram and the Pelicans.
Yeah, they got smoked, didn't they?
Right. But that's what we needed in order for that to go down. That's all.
Yeah, but they're plus 225 going up against Golden State. And, you know, it opens up an opportunity for when you are correct. You only have to hit one every 5 times. You know, you talked about a plus 465 you're getting right now, something in that ballpark on 30 plus for Brandon Ingram plus Pelicans money line. And then you add another leg to that to make it the 3-legger. I like CJ McCollum. You could go assist. You could basically just group it in terms of best bets. Go to DraftKings. Over on OddsShopper, you can go to the filters. You can simply put it. I'm doing it right now as we speak, going to Pelicans, and I'm going to find the next best bet that exists on the top of the board. CJ McCollum, a lot of unders sitting there. How about the total? Ramp it up with the over of 237. Make it a shootout.
We're on DraftKings, though. So the one on DK, McCollum's on FanDuel.
Oh, okay. Let's go. Brandon Ingram, 5.5 rebounds along with that 30-plus points.
That's on FanDuel, too.
God, what state are you in? There it is. That's what's
See?
happening.
All right.
Here we go.
Sit
I was in
back for a second.
Arizona, like
First
I'm
off,
supposed to be.
we're on opposite sides here because this morning on the 5 and 5, I got the Sacramento Kings at 5. So I jumped in at -5. You're on the Pelicans at what? 5.5, 6.5?
Yeah, it was no, I'm on the money line plus 200.
Okay. So that still though, the 200 must have been when the spread was at 5.
Yeah, it would have been at 6.5 at that point.
Well,
I could have taken the 6.5.
The Pelicans right now are plus 205 at 5.5.
So that just changed again because it was down to plus 190 when I was doing my write-up.
All right. Okay, let's not dive too deep into this god awful basketball game tonight. Let's look.
I'm having fun.
Same game parlay. All right.
Yep.
Can we agree on the total?
Yes, we can.
You sure? Because I'd like to go under.
Oh, okay. Well, then go right ahead.
Well, it's 237.5. Would you?
I think it's pretty efficient, but again, if we're talking about a scenario where De'Aaron Fox doesn't play basketball and the Pelicans then would have value with it, I like the under because of Davion Mitchell coming in offensively just is such a stark downgrade. You do get more minutes for Malik Monk, who can be a capable shooter, but there's no doubt about it. First in adjusted offensive rating are the Sacramento Kings this season. They're not first in offensive rating without De'Aaron Fox on the floor.
Okay. The OddsShopper tool in PA is telling us to go under 7.5 assists for Domantas Sabonis.
Okay. I'm here for that too.
Right. Which is correlating here. So under 7.5 assists is the second play. Now, let's take you whatever you want. All right. We don't have to go to the tool. We don't have to go to anything else. We just have to go to, all right. I've already pushed back on 2 plays on the first leg.
I'm here for it.
Right.
Do you know how many times I push back on your plays, my friend? It's a beautiful thing. I love
know,
the
but
Discord.
I'm saying I'm going to let you breathe here. That was my whole point in all this. I'm just going to let you breathe. Under 237.5, Mike, was the first play. All right. Now, what's your last play? Reminder, we have 3 more promos to get through here, okay?
Oh, it's so hard doing a show with Eric.
Brandon
Ingram over 5.5 rebounds. I threw that in there, right?
Well, that's our third leg.
Yeah, that's what I want. 5.5 for Brandon Ingram.
All right. Now
52% expected win percentage. Positive number.
There you go. Plus 475. $10, 470, $47
Done.
back. You're fine. All right.
Beautiful.
Good to go. That's the first parlay right there. The first promo, if you will, right there. Now, here's what we have. Okay. By the way, I just got this in. Want to make sure that some news and information. Miles Turner question. Well, thanks to the news god for sending that. So keep that in mind here.
Well, he's not playing. It's a back-to-back. So, damn it. I did not see that come across. I would have definitely tried to do anything that I possibly could to bet Philadelphia there.
Well, you just got news now from the news god himself.
Well, thank you.
There you go. Well,
I didn't look at my laptop. I
am
was looking at Brandon
conduit
Ingram.
for the god. I am a conduit for the news god. That's it. I get a message, I send it. All right, now this is the second one. All right, reminder, we have 3 more to get through here. Okay,
Go.
Lindy, we have to get back to some chat questions too. So this one should be easy. This one should be short and sweet for the both of us here. We have DraftKings, a plus 250 odds surge for the Players' Championship.
Oh my God, it's so beautiful.
It's a wonderful thing.
On DK,
you have a
you
candidate
said
here?
Well, I'll let you start. Did you just do the golf show previous to this?
Yes,
Why don't you start? And I've got my guy, but I want you to fire it up first. You're coming fresh off the heels of it.
Martin Laird at 400 to 1.
Jesus Christ. What is wrong with you? Oh my God, you're so stupid. What are you doing?
Oh my God. Look, here's the thing.
Do they not have to putt this time? Does he get to just play a golf course where he doesn't have to putt?
Yeah, but it hasn't killed him when he's played well. All right. Look, I know he's missed a couple of cuts. The guy, look, I'm not going to argue Martin Laird. That's not the guy.
So you're taking him from plus 4,000 or plus 40,000 to plus 40,250. All right, good. Thank God.
I'll take, now this is unfortunate because his number has dipped, but I'll take Jason Day at 2,800 and add 250 back.
So it was a little frustrating.
Best putter right now in the world.
Of course, he's been incredible. And I bet him, he was my outright pick last week. You were getting 30, he closed around 31, 32 to 1, which was nice. I actually jumped in closer when it was at 30. So that was a bummer that I didn't take.
Well, you should have watched Putting for Dough. Then you would have had him at a much better number. Uh-oh. Did Eric freeze or did I freeze, Mike? Okay, that's the first thing you want. All right, look, Eric froze. That's the one that's going down right now, officially in the books, is my play. All right. Look, that's fine. He's going to pop back up. Do me a favor. Let's pop, though. Speaking of which, we'll get back to those other two promos in a second. Let's pop back to the tool because this is a good opportunity here to answer some more questions and get back. Ben, look, we'll get somebody else on if need be, by all means. But this is what the tool, this is what the show is for. It was Martin Laird, man. I'm telling you, Martin Laird destroyed Eric Lindros, like Lindquist. My brain's frozen now because I just had to do this stupid thing on Lindros here in Philadelphia. All right. I saw a couple that I did want to get back to. CJ McCollum over 5.5 assists. So again, we just go to the tool and immediately search, see what we can come up with here, because the biggest thing is you may have an idea ahead of time, right? Like you may have an inclination as far as, all right, this is going to be the play. And then the market's like, no, not so much, not so much. So for McCollum, what pops up to me is, and I know the question here was what assists, right? Over 5.5 assists. So I'm looking at the tool right now, and I have 2 plays that are plus ROI, 2 plays, and they're not assists. Under 4.5 rebounds, just surviving with the positive ROI. The play, though, would be under 2.5 rebounds, plus 120 on FanDuel with a 2% XROI. So again, you look at this and you think, well, I have an idea of where I want to go. I've done my own math. I've done my own projections. I've looked at game logs. This is a reflection of how people are currently betting and what the market is doing. And maybe somebody on one book has made a mistake. Chances are that you and I didn't catch a mistake as far as one entity, 2 entities. It's one book versus 9 or 10 books. It's one book versus the market who's made the mistake. So even if that mistake is just 5 or 8 points fewer that you have to lay, or 5 or 10 points coming back. Now, I feel bad because Lindy isn't here. What is the deal, by the way, with the internet? Raza had one. Okay, because I was just about to say, we just did the Putting for Dough show earlier today, and Raza's internet went shit. And these two guys live on the complete opposite ends of the country. So maybe there's something wacky here. Is okay? I was going to say, is that like the Krusty the Clown thing that they show whenever there's technical difficulties? Just show the face right now. We need the song. Krusty. The 1956. We'll be right back. Here's Raza. You don't look like Eric Lindquist.
Throw me on.
Oh my goodness. Here we go. Hey, Ben, by the way, a lot of people were asking about Nikola Jokic points because Eric Lindquist threw out. By the way, this is like Bryson DeChambeau. Can somebody locate Eric Lindquist? All right, I haven't. Where the hell is Bryson DeChambeau? Like, where is Eric Lindquist right now? Where did he go?
I don't know, man. I just got the call from the bullpen. I was watching The Sopranos, eating a little dinner, and I saw you were in a little trouble. I came in to help the team.
Did you think I was really in trouble, or did you?
No, okay. I wanted to more help the audience, to be honest. If the show might not have survived if it was just you, so I figured let me come on and make sure that we steer the ship to some winners tonight.
That's fine. That is fine. All right, so we have Nikola Jokic here, and the reason why he's clearly a popular name in our Discord, thanks to Lindy. And is a name that has been thrown out even here because Lindy threw out the triple-double as his leg of the parlay. Speaking of which, you can still vote. Only 97 in here. So come on. We need the likes up and we need votes up for our community parlay because we're going to hit. We know we're going to hit. This is on you right now. So Jokic, interestingly enough, points actually does pop. You may think going under it. No. Stay away from everything except rebounds. We have a 1% ROI for his under 12.5 rebounds. That's coming at an even money. But the play here is going to be going over 22.5 points.
Yeah, I mean, that jumps right off. Again, obviously, you've looked at it, and it's always, I don't know about you. I mean, one of the things when we talk about OddsShopper Premium and the value that it portrays, I always get freaked out when we're talking about big name players because you have that intuition, on your own of like, oh my God, am I really going to short Jokic? Am I really going to, go under on Luka, something like that? But again, there are little edges out there, and I think they're going over and under on different, stat categories can make all the difference. So I'm with you there. Obviously, the Nuggets are rolling. They're deadly at home. A lot of things that play there, but Jokic probably going to be on my card in some iteration tonight.
There you go. And definitely if you're building, this is a nice way to start here with the over 22.5. Keep them coming. We did have one more since Ben is here. Nice to bounce this off. You mentioned the big names. Those are going to be the heavier, bet props that you're going to find. And Brandon Ingram points was another question that we got here. Look, sometimes the market just tells you, right? This is what this whole tool is about. This is why we give you a week off free here to explore, to bounce around. And yeah, we're going to get to Massachusetts in a second, but this is why we give you this free week to bounce around and check the tool and make sure you fully understand that the market's going to dictate, if you're following this approach, where to go. So like Ben said, you may come into this with the idea, with the inclination of, all right, Brandon Ingram, he's got a lot of points to score tonight. Love this matchup. Love the fact, as Lindy said, if they're going to win this game, he's going to have to drop 30. Well, I like him winning. I like him covering. And then you look at the market, and the market tells you going over 26.5 points yields you a -3 XROI. Why not just bet under 5.5 assists for a 3% ROI with a pretty decent return there at 57%? So again, that's why this tool is fun. Whereas you may have an idea what you're doing, and you base it off the market. The market's going to say, no, it's not going to shut you down, but it's going to give you another option. It's like that old coach. It's like that old teacher that you gravitated to that said, all right, I'm not just going to shut down your stupid, crazy, wild ideas. I'm going to tell you that you're stupid, crazy, wild, but in a very nice and comforting way, and then offer you a different path.
Yeah, and I think just to kind of illustrate that even more, you mentioned Brandon Ingram and his points over 26.5 yields you, a -3% ROI, not a lot of value there. So if you're not really digging in, you might think, okay, well, I'll go the other way. I'll bet the under. That's -4%. And what that shows is that the line is very efficient. And because of the vig or the rake, there's really no edge on that prop right now, given where the books are at. But you did mention Brandon Ingram assists under 5.5 at -125. That's the important part of this. If you can find the -125, we have that X win at 57%. There's definitely room there at -125. So if you're talking to me about an Ingram prop, you know where I'm going to say, Eytan. You know what I'm saying. Under 5.5 assists right there. It jumps off the page, particularly at that -125 number.
All right, let's do this because we have two more promos to get through. One of them is, it's almost like Lindquist purposely tagged out for you to do this FanDuel promo. But Mike, if I can, let's just save that one for a second. Let's do the BetMGM one first, because this one we can just throw out, see if anybody has any ideas, any crazy wild ideas. But it's really cool from BetMGM. Essentially, you're going to get $200 in bonus bets just for signing up. You have to do this before March 10th. If you're watching this now, you have to do this now, like today. You live in Massachusetts, you're a masshole, you're a great person, you're anything and anybody in between, that's fine. We love you either way, but you have to jump on this sucker right now. Who's going to be the first celebrity, the first Bostonian to place a wager? Is it going to be Noma? Noma Garcia-Para?
Cam Neely? I don't know who they're going to bring. Even though I'm a New Yorker, I went to school in Massachusetts, so I know how it goes up there. Maybe they'll bring Larry Legend. He's right behind you. Maybe they'll say, take a break from the Pacers, come on up and place a wager. But yeah, Massachusetts.
Adam Silver would come down on his ass.
Yeah, that would be frowned upon for various.
Seriously, come on.
I don't know the rules. That's why I don't run the leagues.
Matt Damon, or the poor man's Matt Damon? The guy who slept on the couch and took all the credit for Good Will Hunting?
Yeah, I'm just talking about Good Will Hunting.
Huh?
But anyway, Massachusetts, it's long overdue. Not to go on a long tangent, but they
don't have any guess. Nomar Garcia-Para, is that who you said?
Sure. Him and Mia Hamm, they'll do a joint bet.
Okay.
The whole
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to jump in.
No, not at all. I literally jumped on the show, so you can interrupt me at any point. I crashed the show.
No, but you probably had a really good point about Massachusetts. It's long overdue. We know that there's going to be a thirst for betting up there.
Oh, absolutely. They've had legal. It's just getting, I went through this in New York. Getting the mobile aspect has been challenging, but it looks like they're right there. And I can't be more excited. It's an awesome, obviously, sports town, and they deserve to have legalized betting.
All right. Last one here for you. And again, that link for all Massachusetts people right there below. Look, we want you to be well informed here. College basketball bet, 25% odds boost tonight. Why not take advantage of this on FanDuel? You have one of the smartest college basketball people here, and you also have Ben Rosson. So why not take advantage? Why not take advantage of this, man? Right?
Absolutely.
This is a slate. It's almost like they put this out there for you, right? Like this is the slate there. Oh, that's on PrizePicks. Sorry. So straight wagers. What do you think? Is there a side that you've looked at today that you jumped on in college?
There certainly is. And again, on this very channel, you can check out all those videos, but I'm going to talk about the Furman Paladins. The team, they're not the team of destiny. That was Sanford, but Sanford's out. So I just want to paint this picture. If you don't know a lot about college basketball, the way it works, the small conferences, they play their conference tournament and the winner gets an automatic bid to the tournament. Tonight in the Southern Conference is the finals. It's Chattanooga against Furman. These two teams played last year in this game. Furman scored with 2 seconds left, and Chattanooga threw in a 40-foot three to beat them and make the tournament because of that. And Furman's team returns basically intact from last year. The revenge narrative, on top of everything else, is strong tonight. Furman is a great team. If they defend the three-point line, Furman is my favorite bet in any sport tonight. If you're talking about sides, we've obviously got OddsShopper Premium humming to identify that value, but Furman Paladins -4.5 tonight.
All right. There you and you can boost it because it's going to be what? -110, -112, -115, something in that range. So you're getting that boost there, right? Not bad.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that turns anything into a plus EV move when you're getting a boost that kind of just changes the odds. But I look at this team. I think they are primed to put together 40 minutes tonight. Chattanooga takes the most threes in the country. When you're dealing with a team like that, it's super high variance. If they hit 55% of their threes, Furman's going down. If they hit 28%, Furman's going to win by 30. Probably somewhere in between, and I can live with that. So that is my favorite bet. Some great college basketball tonight.
Awesome. And you say that because on the slate, it doesn't really look like this. Now we have this thing on the show sheet here. Did you build this?
What do you mean? I can't even see it. I wasn't on the show.
We have a player's winner bet, but we just did that with the promo there, DraftKings. I'll say this. If you want Ben's winning bet for the players, head on over to the OddsShopper Golf channel because you can check putting for dough, which Ben and I recorded. That will be out in a little bit. Actually, it'll be up probably in the next half hour or so. All right. Let's go to PrizePicks. We've got PrizePicks. We've got No House Advantage, and we'll get back to the chat here. Anybody else want to throw stuff out? Absolutely, we have it. I saw a couple questions as far as like a 20+. James Harden was one. So, Mike, if you want to pull up the PrizePicks parlay builder, I have the James Harden updated on me, and it's not looking good. Okay, it's not looking good, Ben, for James Harden. Points, stay away. Under 22.5 is a -4% ROI. Over 22.5, the same number. The only thing that is a plus EV bet that we have on the board here is Bet Rivers posting an under 6.5 rebounds with just over plus X ROI. So again, people may look at that less than 1% and say, whatever. It's got a 56% clip. It's hitting. And on top of that, it's making money. So don't scoff at the fact that it's barely over 0. If it's plus, it's plus.
Of course. The win percentage, again, I'm not going to go on a long monologue. If you're interested in this stuff, you can always hop in our Discord or hit me up at JazzRazDFS. But the expected win is going to correlate to the line. Like if a team is -500, their expected win would have to be insanely high to justify that bet. If it's -110, 54% will get it more than done. But you look at a couple right off the bat. I know right before I got on, you were talking, I believe, about Sabonis under 7.5 assists, and I'm on our PrizePicks parlay builder right now, and that is the first one loaded into the parlays tonight over there. Yeah, Sabonis, and that Harden one's right there. You've got Bam, points, rebounds, assists over 32.5. Gabe Vincent's on this. So many ways you can go, and we're just talking one sport. Obviously, you can throw in NHL if you want to. You can throw in all sorts of things.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I think we'll do, because immediately, well, I don't know. Are you for these ones, NHA and PrizePicks? I'm not anti-adding. If PrizePicks has identified a leg, or pardon me, if our tool has identified a leg here that is better, is more plus CV, if you will, than an NBA leg, who am I to scoff at a Michael Backlund shot on goal play, man?
What do I care? Who the hell is we got T Shabbat in the PrizePicks parlay on my screen right now. He's on the Senators. I don't know who that is. I thought that was the actor. What's that guy? He was in Dune. You know what I'm talking about? I thought his name was, maybe he plays hockey too.
No, Dune, like the remake Dune?
Yeah, I didn't see it, but no, the remake Dune.
You're asking me to Google now remakes?
Google that, because T Shabbat was that guy's name. Thank you. Thank you. Charlemagne, the French guy?
Charlemagne.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it sounds like that
I wouldn't know this guy if he fell on me.
Well, I wouldn't know him either, and I wouldn't know whoever this guy is on the Senators, but I'll tell you this. Over 2.5 shots on goal grades out really well on OddsShopper Premium. And if you can go there, I think that's really worth considering putting in your PrizePicks parlay tonight if you're looking for an NHL play.
Well, and speaking of which, we've got this guy that neither one of us have ever seen or heard. In fact, most likely coming from a movie.
Correct.
Theater, at least tonight. But he's up there. And we have 5 other NBA plays that are all there with Sabonis, starting with Sabonis. And you can mix and match if you see one that's better as far as the win percentage, but the tool, there we go. That dude, really?
Yeah, look at that guy. Over 2.5 shots on goal for T Shabbat. I might be butchering his last name, apology, but hey, I don't, like I said, the tool tells you it does the work for me. I don't need to dig. It's already telling me that's a great X win. And we can put him in the parlay. Do you have to? Absolutely not. Is it worth exploring? I think so.
Would you put money on that guy doing anything, though? I wouldn't.
Who, the actor or this hockey player?
Whoever that was, I wouldn't know. Again, I don't know if it was the actor or if it was the hockey player, but the tool is going to tell me.
Yeah, what do I care?
That's what I'm saying. Like, if the tool is telling me to bet on this guy, shots on goal, or the other guy winning an Oscar, then I'm going to follow the tool because it's beating the market.
That's all that matters. Again,
That's it.
In the long run, the numbers are just the numbers. On a given day, it's bizarro world. We see it all the time. Guy twists an ankle. It turns out this guy is an actor. He can't even skate. That might be a problem. But regardless, if the value is there, I'm certainly going to explore putting it on my card.
You're going to love this. All right. And again, we'll share this on social when we're done, when we get out of here. We have the NHA one. These are short. We're just basically showing you immediately what the tool says. There's not much to dive into this. You're going to love if we go to the NHA side now, Mike. This is fantastic because our guy, how do you pronounce it? Shabbat? Look at him. He's right there. See? Just for you, we're doing this.
And Bam is right there again. No surprise either, obviously.
No.
Adebayo, over 32.5 points, rebounds, assists. You've got, wow, shame Lindy's not here. Bogdanovich, but Hero, Jamal Murray. Again, it doesn't mean you see on the right, you have so many other options, but these are the ones that are grading out the best right now. And you're going to have that options over on NHA to maybe go 5 for 5, you get to 21x, or you reduce and you have a higher chance of success with a lower payout. All reasonable options.
Love that, man. Again, you have if you have shots on goal, if you have college basketball player props, if you have any, now's the time. You know, we've got about 10 minutes or so, give or take. We are more than happy to open this thing up for you. Jaylen Brown was just thrown out in the chat. By the way, we have the news guy. We have to get to him in just 1 second. Now, your staff, your family here, so I can just give you a minute if that's okay, news god, on the super chat. Definitely not necessary. We appreciate it by all means. I just wanted to get to John Gill real quick. on Jaylen Brown on threes. Jaylen Brown is going to be a no-go for me outside of 2 plays, and that's going to be under 3.5 assists. That's a big ask at minus 141, but we have that as a pretty decent play. And the other one would just be going over 27.5 points, minus 105 on BetMGM. It's still a plus EV play, just over a positive XROI.
Yeah, again.
By the way, look at that. Can we give Mike Lawrence some credit? You didn't even recognize. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you photoed. I take it back. They do look alike. I thought you photoshopped that. Sorry, Ben. Go ahead.
No respect for Thomas Shabbat.
For
anyway, yeah, who exactly? You just mentioned it. The beauty, what you can do here is you simply search. I don't know how you do it, Eytan, but like when I'm trying to figure out my card, I just go to the search bar at the top of OddsShopper and I type in the guy's name. Then all his props come up and I just look for the ones that are in green. Pretty simple. Like James Harden, for example, right now, nothing grades out besides his rebounds with a positive ROI. So for me, that's the only thing I would personally look to on either side of that.
No, totally agree. And you have the opportunity here to sort by ROI. Look,
yeah.
We just had one. It pains me to say this. And as much as you can reason and rationale this whole thing out, whatever, with Joel Embiid tonight against the Pacers with the height advantage and what have you, our tool is saying every single Joel Embiid bet is a bad bet right now, as far as for the most part. Now, PRA, let the market kind of work out a little bit more as these bets pop. But over 3.5 assists, over a 3-pointer, over 32.5, under 32.5, over under 11.5 rebounds, PRA, 3-pointer. Stay away from that. Stay away from those bets according to the market here for Joel Embiid.
And when you look at it, it tells the story right in front of you. So Joel Embiid, I'll just use his points as a quick example. The line is 32.5, over, under. We are projecting it as a coin flip. The market is. The market is saying this is basically going to be a coin flip whether it goes over. How can you beat that when you have to pay the rake on both sides of the bet? If the bet cashes 50% of the time, give or take on each side, you can't beat that unless you're getting plus money on one of the sides. The odds on both sides, minus 105 and minus 111. You long term, of course, one side has to win the bet. But long term, the market is saying for this bet right now, there would be no value if you ran this 1,000 times.
By the way, NewsGod, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
NewsGod did send us the super chat. 50% boost for the NHL tonight. I used it. I actually posted this on the Discord too. I brought Edmonton down to minus 109. And the implied probability of that on the road against a team that they should beat. And again, I'm not worried about the puck line here. I'm not worried about the 60-minute line. I'm not worried about anything. It doesn't matter if it takes overtime, shootout, what have you. But I have significantly reduced the odds for Edmonton now with that 50% boost on the road against Buffalo, who I again, is not a bad team, but I think is prime here to be beat. And I'll take, again, you could argue that Buffalo probably should be a tighter dog, but I'll take now Edmonton all the way down. That would be mine. But if you have a better one, then I'll defer to you.
No, I mean, listen, hockey, I do love betting hockey. When you get a boost like that, it's certainly worth entertaining. The player props that we presented are certainly ahead of the market. There's no doubt. I'll give one shout out to the Winnipeg Jets. They're at home against the Sharks tonight. They have to have these games. They need to secure points. I think they roll the Sharks. Deadly at home at times, I should say. They're a team, I think, in the West, not to go on a long hockey monologue, that I think is really dangerous. We know about the Avs, and we certainly know what the Oilers can do with McDavid and Draisaitl and these guys. The Winnipeg Jets are no joke. And I think tonight against the Sharks, that's the type of game I don't expect to be competitive at all. You get plus money if you lay a goal and a half.
It's funny to me, if I can quote Allen Iverson, it's funny to me that you brought up the Winnipeg Jets, because in the community parlay, which is now closed, and Mike's going to bring it back, and you are now stuck, by the way, with Eric Lindquist's play of Nikola Jokic triple-double. So that is now Ben Raza. I wonder if Mike could even flip the heads and just put Ben over Eric on the short notice. But here's the thing. You have Nikola Jokic triple-double. My play was Mark Scheifele 3+ shots on goal, who is the captain for the Winnipeg Jets.
Well, I like that. A little
See?
synergy
So
there.
we're thinking. Now, we
Okay.
started answering questions and our concurrent jumped up. Do you want to stick around and answer more questions, or do you have to go?
I got a couple minutes. What do you say, people? You hit that like button, throw in a question for us.
Yeah, it'd be
I'm
nice to
fine.
get the likes up here. It's 66. I think, we're going to answer a bunch. We can go rapid fire. We can help you. I see.
I was supposed to be
Hurdle.
on. I just flew in from Florida. I was
There
on
you go.
vacation.
You can
I
at least
hadn't eaten,
help us here.
and now I'm on the show.
He hasn't even eaten, this man.
No.
By the way, here's the community parlay. Nikola Jokic triple-double, Ben Raza. Mark Scheifele over 2.5 shots on goal. And the Pelicans, the people have spoken. The Pelicans right now. By the way, Kevin Bloomfield asked New Orleans, not New Orleans, the Pelicans, the Privateers.
The Privateers are a team that I have seen more than most. That team plays, I'll say this, they play no defense. I'll give you that. They do not play defense.
It's unfortunate, but we don't really have an edge right now in the market. The total under 155.5 is -1%. The over 154 is -2%. So we're not really getting a break here on either side, which is going to be more the norm with sides and totals, Ben, than it will be with player props.
Yeah, and that's because the books are very, very efficient. Something opens up, a book hangs a stale line. Our tools are going to jump on that immediately. If all the books agree, we're going to say, listen, the reality, if 10 books with all their resources all agree on the line, then it's probably pretty damn accurate. And I think that that's something to consider. Michael Porter Jr. just took a peek at what he's got going on. Nothing really stands out. His under 17.5 points is close, but even there, it's about a wash. We're not seeing any value on anything right now, from his threes to his points to his rebounds. So we have to keep an eye on it. Things open up, books change, lines adjust, but nothing right now.
Billy Fay, do you like Halliburton over on assists? I do, but the tool does not. In fact, OddsShopper Premium is telling us to stay far away from the over and under, both returning a -5 XROI. And I wish, because normally we look for an alternative here, and I wish I could find one, but the under 19.5 points would be technically, and I'm not even going to use the term best because that doesn't apply, but the better of the worst plays, all of them are negative ROI. So it's probably too heavy, too popular of a bet. The market doesn't have much width, right?
All that means, though, it's right now. You got to keep an eye on it, because say one book says, we're going to move this Halliburton assist prop, and they move it too much, and another book says, well, we're going to hold. Now there's a discrepancy within the market, and now we're starting to get where there could be edges had. So it doesn't mean, there are props all the time that I look at, and it shows negative XRI, and they end up on my card because at some point in the day, a value opens up on one of the specific lines.
Here we go. In the chat, and I had to make sure I had this. Zamuna hints for a goal. The first name is Roope. Roop?
Rupe,
It's probably not Rupe, right? It's probably Roop. Roop Hins? Roop Hins.
Roop Hins this is the second time I've dealt with this guy today, because I actually already bet his over 0.5 point.
Look at that. Okay, so you don't like to build up. You like to just get right to it.
No, let's get right to it. Let's just give
I was going to build up to it. The question was Hintz goals. Don't play Hintz goals. Under a goal is -4. Over a goal, yeah, I get it. Plus 186. That looks fantastic. It's -9%. But as Ben, because he can't help himself, right? He has to jump in and say, look what I did. That's Ben Raza. All 4 fingers point to me. Ben jumped in there and said, hold on a second. OddsShop, because you don't know who the hell Roop Hintz is. You just saw this on the tool. Admit this, please.
I'll say this much. I'm not colorblind. When it says green, I bet it. When it says red, I don't. That's the extent of what I'm doing in hockey, and it's working because I don't need to know it. I'm looking at the books, and it quickly shows at -150. Yeah,
it is Rupe.
Okay.
Okay.
Look at that.
But again, you don't need to know how to pronounce the guy's first name. The OddsShopper Premium tool is telling you to bet it, and I have to bet it now too.
Come on in. Even at -150, you look at it and you're like, man, that's a lot of juice. The win percentage, 62%. Go to any betting calculator, and we have some, and type in the break even on 62% and see what the true line is. I
Last one-
guarantee you.
Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, I guarantee you it shows that there's value if minus 150 is out there.
Last one that I saw, Darius Garland points. It's not going to be a fun one here. There is one play that does stand out, and it's an under, so you have to stomach that. The under 2.5 threes. Everything else, actually, the under 7.5 assists is a plus EV bet as well. We have those two, under 2.5 right now. And again, you have to go back and check. This can change in 20 seconds and 30 seconds. We're giving you a link below to sign up for a week free so that you can watch how the market moves and watch how fast this stuff is. But right now, under 2.5 threes for Darius Garland and under 7.5 assists are the two plays that stand out. Unfortunately, nothing else really jumps out for Garland, man.
Yeah. And you said it. That's the beauty of this. We are
right. Well, Mitchell out. When did that come down?
What'd you say?
Donovan Mitchell out.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, but again, when news breaks like that, there can be small windows that are actionable, but the books are going to account for that, obviously. And when some of the books overcompensate, undercompensate, there starts to be these discrepancies, and that's really where the tool's at its strongest.
All right, man. Now, we had on the way out a wild play to leave people with, our own version of a final card. Lindquist, I feel bad. He had the same game parlay all built up. I had a crazy ladder. Do you have any? And I even used you as an example. Like, give me something Raza would never throw out. And
well, I'm just happy the
give
people.
Me something. Come on. Give me Martin Laird 400 to 1 to win the Players.
Nah, I already heard that once today over on the OddsShopper Golf channel, and that was one too many. Even though I suggested Griot at 300 to 1. So what does that make me?
The power that I had to knock out Eric Lindquist electricity with that Martin Laird take was like Beyonce at the Super Bowl in New Orleans. You get out and belt one note, and the whole fucking city shuts down.
Times are tough, man. Like I said, you just got that kind of pull. No, listen, it's great to see everyone. I've been off. I missed everyone. I wasn't supposed to be on today. I hope I was a decent relief pitcher here.
Absolutely.
Come in, have some fun.
Can you give us one? Don't you have one crazy play that you thought to yourself, you know what, if I wasn't sharp, if I wasn't doing this successfully, I would bet that tonight. I'm sure something crossed your radar.
I mean, this is not crazy by any stretch, but I'll say this. I think that Towson in basketball is a live dog. They're a 4.5 point underdog. They lost to College of Charleston twice this year by 8, by 2. They've got a really good guard in Timberlake. College of Charleston plays crazy fast, but Towson's going to slow the tempo tonight. It's hard to beat a team 3 times. That spread has come down from 6 to 4.5. I think if you are looking for a dog and you want to get crazy, Towson can beat them tonight. I'm not saying they're going to, but I definitely think you should explore it if you want to get dangerous. How's that?
Man, I'm going to leave you with.
Now we get crazy dangerous.
It's not even that wild here. I just need 6 shots tonight from Connor McDavid.
Well,
right? Like that shouldn't be a big ask, right? I'll give you McDavid's 5+ is plus 108. And I'm just going to go ahead and play the same unit size at 6+ at plus 245 and run a quick little 2-step ladder here. Okay. Because McDavid should be on full blast mode against the Buffalo Sabres.
I mean, he's the best player in the world. So if you're going to do it, you might as well do it with that guy because he and Edmonton's offense is unstoppable. And if they get on the power play, you could just forget it.
There you go. We see you. A lot of content on the channel. We appreciate you rolling with us. Did throw some stuff out to Twitter that we never got to. You don't watch enough TV, I think, to answer the question, right? Like
I watched more TV than anybody.
Is there a show that has gone on for at least 4 seasons that should have been canceled after 1?
What was the question?
Is a show that has gone on for at least 4 seasons that should have been canceled after its first?
Yeah, Lost.
Okay, great.
Lost had a great first season, and by the end, there's like dual islands, and they're in purgatory, and there's something else going. We don't have time for that. Just end it. Smoke monsters. That's where they should have ended it.
Love it. Love it. True Detective was the inspiration, by the way, for this.
Yeah, True Detective season 1. Very, very good.
The gift and the curse. It'll never be duplicated, right? Just like Illmatic. All right. For Ben Raza, Eric Lindquist, Mike Lawrence, myself, everybody here on the OddsShopper channel, thank you. Thanks for sticking around a little later for us as well. Appreciate you. If you're still here, my God, hit the thumbs up button and subscribe, will you? You freeloaders. We'll see you tomorrow.